Hello and welcome to this WordPress tutorial on what's called SEO. That is a acronym that stands for Search Engine Optimization. And we're going to be covering a specific plugin / application that is very widely used in the WordPress world called Yoast. And Yoast is beneficial at giving you kind of an analysis and kind of recommendations on what you can do for each of your pages on your WordPress site to give you the best bang for your buck when it comes to getting you up in the rankings for organic search. Doesn't guarantee it, but it certainly does help optimize your site rather than doing nothing at all. So it does a few things automatically, background-wise. I won't go into the detail of that, but just know that it does. That normally you'd have to have a web designer do for you manually. But within each page, you'll get this little panel here. And if you don't see it right off the bat at the top, just scroll down. It should be somewhere down there. If you don't see it at all, make sure it's installed, of course. And then if click on Screen Options, make sure that box is checked, because that kind of erases it. You'll see how it showcases it or erases it if you uncheck the box. So essentially, this is the way this little panel works. You got here a little snippet preview. Right now, it's very generic. And that preview is basically showing you a preview of what shows up like when you do a typical organic Google search. So if you do a typical organic Google search, you'll notice that there's always a link up top. You'll see the web address below it, and then you'll see the description below. We don't have a description for this page, and I'll show you how to get to that in just a second. The next option is called Focus Keyword. I would kind of skip this. As far as like probably the last year or so, Google's kind of ignored this as part of a relevant, relevant thing for kind of scanning your site. Kind of ignores it now. So one less thing to worry about essentially. I'd just skip right straight to the SEO title. So what is the SEO title? The SEO title is going to be this little guy that appears here in the snippet preview, but it's basically that little. Whenever you open a browser window, and you won't see it on here, but the very top of your browser, you got your tab, whatever tab you got open, you got a title in that tab. That's the SEO title. Probably, quite possibly, the most important thing in all your search engine optimization. And you notice it's got a recommendation of 70 characters, and then it says 54 characters left. And those 54 characters are, of course, this generic one. It auto-created. It'll auto-create your SEO title, but you probably 9 times out of 10 are not going to want to keep it unless you either forget or just don't care. But here's where you would enter the SEO title, and usually I like to say that. Name it something relevant. Name it as relevant as it needs to be for the page that you're editing. So choose keywords that are in relation to the page that you're editing. So for example, if we were doing a real estate site, and the topic on this particular page maybe was selling homes in Lago Vista, Texas. So we would basically we'd probably start off with maybe, and I'm not going to, I'm no keyword research expert, but I'll just show you some examples of what you can do. Selling homes in the Lago Vista area, and maybe include some surrounding areas, Utah. I believe it's around the area, but you get the point. Just kind of some surrounding cities. Maybe if I would have done an area that I'm more familiar with, say Round Rock and Pflugerville. Whatever you can think of selling your homes. And it doesn't have to be a bunch of a laundry list of surrounding cities. It's kind of good to have geographic regions within your SEO title, because people are going to Google, say Pflugerville. Selling my home in Pflugerville, or homes sold, or things like that. Selling homes selling realtors in Pflugerville. I don't know, something like that. But you get the point. So you just want to make that to the recommended character amount. You see, there's about 23 left. Of course, you'll keep typing. It'll keep counting down. You can go a little bit above, and you see it jump to -10, and even though there's a little bit more left. But it does that. It's kind of a buggy little thing, but the counter's not perfect. But if you go a little bit above, no big deal. But you do want to keep it as close to the 70 characters as you can. Meta description is like a 1 to 2 sentence description of the page you're on. So it can be as simple as Graham Real Estate specializes in selling your home, condo, townhome in Pflugerville, Round Rock, Georgetown, period. And you'll see it also has recommended characters. You can keep going on and on, but you notice I threw in some keywords: condo, townhome. Maybe you don't want to necessarily. Maybe you want, instead of saying home, maybe you want to go more specific. Whatever you can think of. A loft. Anything else. But that's basically the gist of kind of optimizing your page. It's just putting relevant keywords and filling in these 3 areas. There's your snippet preview that of course looks a little ugly with my random typing, but that's the way it would kind of look in the Google organic search when you would kind of pop up, if you do in fact pop up, because of course obviously this is not a guarantee. But that's the basic workings of Yoast. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. We'll see you on the next one.